Will this follow the long line of success stories of recent LeBrons? I don't know, but we'll find out. What's up guys, Vinny here with Sneaker Tweaker and welcome back to another video. Today we have the performance review on the Nike LeBron XXII. This is the crown jewel colorway, and honestly, this looks a lot better in person than I thought it would. The leaked images first came out. I honestly didn't think it was gonna look very nice. I thought it looked like trash, but in hand, in person, it looks a hell of a lot better. Before we actually get into the performance review though, I did want to mention that if you do love content like this and you do want to support our channel and help us put more and more reviews out, that way we can actually take time out of our day and out of our day-to-day jobs to do this, because again, we are doing this essentially for free. And all we ask is that you take the time to watch it, comment on it, engage with the content, and that will essentially incentivize us to be able to do more of this. Without the views, without the comments, without the sharing, all of that, there's really not any point in doing all this, because as much as I love sneakers and as much as I love to do this, it's just not sustainable. That being said, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video or the one after that. But back to the video. As always though, let's start off with the traction. The Nike LeBron XXII features a multi-directional traction pattern. If you do see this little crown jewel thing, which also this is the colorway, this logo right here on the tongue, it's essentially the same traction pattern. It's still blade, or I guess lines going through, but they're just angled in multi directions. The traction worked really well, particularly more so on clean courts than dusty courts. Dusty courts, there was a little bit of an issue. You did have to wipe quite frequently, and if you didn't, then honestly, you would slide a little bit, not crazy like where it's dangerous. However, you did get that little bit of a slide. So for those of you that are wanting, stop on the dime traction, this isn't going to be it. This isn't going to be even the best traction setup that Nike has out this year compared to other shoes. However, it still works pretty well. And for those of you that do like some feedback, it does have some decent feedback. The squeak isn't the loudest. Again, it's not a performance factor. However, there are hoopers that do love that squeak and have to hear it. And I would say an actual important performance factor would be the durability of the outsole. Now, I've played in this only indoors. I honestly didn't really want to take a $180 shoe outdoors, but it is what it is. I mean, I just played it with it indoors, and even playing it in it indoors, you already have fraying on the outsole, both on the forefoot area and the heel. I don't know if you can see it too well. There's already fraying right here. And I played about 12 hours in these, and this is the result. So indoors, I think you would still be fine for a full season. However, outdoors, these things I wouldn't think are gonna last. As for the cushion, the LeBron XXIIs feature essentially the same setup as the 21s and the 20s, and that is a full-length bed of Cushlon, and then you have a 4-foot zoom turbo unit, which is top-loaded, and a bottom-loaded heel zoom unit. The heel zoom unit is quite large, and you can actually feel that compression pretty damn nicely. And then the Cushlon, you can feel decently, not crazy amount. And then the 4-foot, honestly, even with that zoom unit there, it feels kind of dead. I'm not gonna lie, this was a setup I've loved in the 20s and the 21s, not so much in the 22s. And it's not terrible by any means, but it's just, you have different expectation, and then this is what you get. They did tweak a few other things in there, which we'll get to here in just a minute. That kind of maybe justifies it, but I don't think it really actually justifies it. Maybe just kind of gives a little bit of an explanation as to why it is the way it is. Now, for the fit, the LeBron XXIIs do fit true to size. That's what I did. They do fit a little bit more wide fit friendly than the 20s or the 21s. Again, it's still a decently snug fit. However, it wasn't a painful process breaking these in compared to the 20s or the 2021s. Those did break in for me nicely as well and played really well eventually, but I did have cramping in those. These ones I didn't really have that issue. As for the materials and the support, the LeBron 22s, essentially you do have like this saddle going on the midfoot, and then internally you do have a midfoot shank plated TPU shank plate. So there's a lot of support as far as torsional rigidity, and then you do have these overlays as far as just going, the Nike logo essentially is also an overlay. So on the medial and the lateral side, and then the upper is made of synthetic leather. And then the tongue kind of has this like suede feel, which I don't think is real suede. However, that's what it feels like. But overall, it's a very supportive shoe. And I think because of all the support, especially with this saddle added on to it as well, in addition to that shank plate, I think it helps, not helps, but it is a cause for that cushion to be muted, which, I mean, you don't really see too much of it exposed anywhere, which you really didn't see it in the 20s or the 21s either, as far as like the zoom, but in those you could feel it. In this, there's just so much of a supporting factor, where this one actually feels more like potentially a big man shoe, and then the 20s and the 21s, obviously the 20s more so, felt more like a guard shoe. This one, again, lots of support, super great. However, it's just not going to be the same cushion setup and the same feel shoe as the 20s or the 21s. It is a little bit different. As for the weight, that is down below, so go ahead and check that out. It will be added on after the video because I forgot my weight scale at, well, somewhere else. So check down below for the weight, that'll be there. And then for the price, I did mention earlier, these do retail for $180. Now that's for this colorway. The new colorways, the Monopoly colorways, which I'm assuming because it's a collab, they are releasing at $200. So the LeBrons follow the Currys and I think a few other shoes as far as dropping the retail price from what they had gone up to originally, or I guess lately. So as far as the retail cost and everything, it's gotten better. However, I still don't think it's one of those shoes that are going to be my go-tos, especially with all the great guard shoes out nowadays. I'm a guard, and that's the way I play. That's my playing style. Although these weren't bad and I got buckets in these, it's just, you know, not my cup of tea, especially with the muted cushion. I love at least a decent amount of cushion, and the heel, you get it. I just don't feel it in the forefoot, and for me, it's a little bit of a deal breaker. Plus, I'm not one to normally complain about bulky shoes, but these did feel a little bit more bulkier than, or more, I guess, more so like previous LeBrons, like the 19s, and not quite like the 19s, obviously, but I would say a little bit more leaning that direction, kind of going away from the guard-like. I think maybe trying to find like a middle ground between the two. Again, LeBron and AD have been balling out in these shoes, so I can't say that, you know, they're bad or anything, which I won't. They are great shoes. They're just not my cup of tea, and they're not, in my opinion, amazing shoes. And there are a lot of amazing shoes this year, so we'll see where they land this year as far as my top list. However, again, great pair of shoes. If you guys have already played in the Nike LeBron 22s, let us know your experience down below. If there are any other shoes you guys would like us to review, again, comment down below. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and follow. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to help this channel out. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.